My name is Kashvi Pandya and I'm a 7th grader from California. Last year, I should have learned about Hinduism from the textbook, but after seeing what the textbook says, my dad decided to give a presentation to my class about Hinduism. When I was looking through the textbook and found the section on Hinduism, I was shocked to see what they said about it. One of my Hindu friends was also sitting next to me, and she wanted to see the section about Hinduism. She looked at the textbook and was feeling very insecure and uncomfortable because of the derogatory statements about Hinduism said in it. Insecure, uncomfortable? The law clearly states that no child should feel uncomfortable or insecure about their religion based on what is taught in the textbook. So, the way Hinduism is taught in the textbooks is clearly breaking the law. When I looked through the sections on other religions, there was not one bad thing said about them. They only talked about the good aspects of those religions. Hinduism was the only religion that had anything negative said about it. What did Hindus ever do to you? Is there any reason? I think that this should be changed, because I'm an American student, and my religion deserves to be taught with respect.
Thank you.
My name is Vyamika Pandya, and I am an 8th grader from California. Last year in 7th grade, when learning about world history, I learned nothing about India or Indian civilizations. Not one word. I learned outside of school that during the era we've been studying, India held 24% of the world's population. Using this same ratio, our 600-page textbook should have about 144 pages on Indian culture. There was not a single. Why? How could anyone overlook close to a quarter of the medieval world's population? If I did not learn about my culture outside of school, I would think that Indian culture was not important and did not have any accomplishments in the world, when in reality this is not at all true. India has a rich and diverse culture which has produced great thinkers, rulers, doctors, food, inventions, medicine, and many other contributions to our modern way of life. Therefore, it must be fairly represented in California textbooks.
Thank you.
A big, warm, cheerful thanks for everyone who came today. My name is Deeksha Mamadi, and I'm a 7th grader at Thomas Russell Middle School. Let's get straight to the point. Often, Hinduism isn't portrayed positively in textbooks. Other times, it isn't portrayed at all. I have no idea why, but this makes me feel religiously discriminated. Sometimes, when reading about Christianity and Islam, I feel as if textbook publishers, editors, authors, and many more have forgotten about my religion and culture. It is imperative we make changes. Everyone comes to America in the hopes to be acknowledged by their dreams, personalities, and many more. How on earth are students like me supposed to dream about careers where it's like we're invisible in written forms? We have a voice, and we want to make that apparent. Hinduism is a beautiful religion with gods and goddesses. We have role models, but they aren't celebrities, professional sports players, or actors. They're the ones who do good deeds, donate, and make wise decisions. The message that I'm getting while reading my textbook in history is, hey there, you or your religion is not welcome. Bye-bye. Some excerpts are biased with British insights. We glorify certain cultures in an unfair way. Some cultures that were meant to do harm are praised immensely. This is unacceptable, and I would like further action taken.
My name is Vrenda Suresh, and I'm a 10th grader from Fremont. I've grown up in the U.S., but I have deep roots to my Indian heritage because my family visits India almost every year, and I've attended Chinmaya mission classes since kindergarten. So I'm an Indian American, and I would say that I'm a proud Indian American, but because of the information that's being given in these textbooks, it's hard to be proud of either. Because how can I be a proud American when American textbooks are attacking my religious and cultural heritage? And how can I be a proud Indian when solely negative information is being published solely about India and Hinduism? I've read the chapters about India on ancient India in multiple California 6th grade textbooks. And with the information that's published in these textbooks, it's not at all surprising to me that a lot of my Indian friends and family seem to feel ashamed of their Indian heritage. They try to not be Indian. And I can't really blame them, because nothing appealing about India or Indian religion is being presented in these chapters. How are kids supposed to feel secure in their religion and heritage when they have nothing to feel proud of? when their friends are probably making fun of the religion that, according to what they're being taught, is based on ideas like an oppressive caste system and sexism. And they're not being taught that other ancient civilizations at the same time had equally oppressive social classifications and were equally sexist. And they're being taught that India was nothing until the Aryans invaded, even though the Aryan invasion theory is historically improbable. Textbooks either need to point out the flaws of every ancient civilization and every religion, or point out the flaws of none of them. But it's completely unfair to take a single society, culture, heritage, religion, and completely tear it to shreds while ignoring the mistakes that have been made by others. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, hello, I'm Rupesh Barman, a 9th grader in the San Ramon Valley Unified School District. When I was in 6th grade, we had a unit on Hinduism in our history class. Being a Hindu myself, I noticed that there were many things wrong with the book. In fact, it got to the point where my teacher simply let me teach the class because it was more accurate than the textbook. One example of how inaccurate our information on Hinduism is the following. On our test for Hinduism, there was a question on what kind of religion Hinduism was. I selected monotheistic, and I ended up getting the question wrong. Now, I know that Hinduism is a monotheistic religion, but it's still being taught in public schools that we believe in multiple gods. We believe in one supreme being in different forms. In all humility, without me, the non-Hindus in my class, and even some of the Hindus, probably would have walked away with complete misinformation about the religion. A textbook, a student's biggest resource for learning, shouldn't be so flawed that a 6th grader can provide better information. That's why I'm here, missing school and making up for 2 tests. I want to make sure that students can rely on their textbooks to provide accurate information. I want to make sure that a student does not have to assume the role of teacher because their textbook was inaccurate. I'm not saying that history textbooks are bad on the whole. I actually like their layout, and on the whole, I guess their information is pretty accurate because experts. I'm solely focused on not having a religion with over 1 billion practitioners misrepresented in school, a place where children come to learn information that they will use in everyday life. And the way we can do that is with the edits proposed by Dr. Bajpai of the Uberai Foundation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Arjav Joshi. I'm a 7th grader at Cupertino, California. In case you're wondering, no, I do not like to miss school, nor do I like to skip a history test, which I did today. I'm here to share how Hinduism is portrayed in the 6th grade history textbooks. Last year, I learned about Hinduism and India, and I was saddened by how I saw Hinduism was being taught compared to other religions. During our recesses, my friends and I would not talk about normal 6th grade boys' topics, but we would discuss what we had learned about Hinduism in India that day and how it was presented in a negative way to make it look inferior to other religions. There were times in class when some bold students would speak out against the words of the textbook, but those words would be shot down by the teacher because she was told to follow the textbook and the state standards, which are not factually accurate. I was very happy to see how other religions and empires were presented in a higher standard and positive light, so why leave out Hinduism and India from this group? Even to a 6th grader like me, this bias was so glaringly obvious. If Christians have a say in how Christianity is depicted, and so do other religions, then should not Hindus have a say in how Hinduism is depicted? People from all different races and faiths can learn about the greatness of this ancient religion only if the information in the textbooks and the state standards is correctly showcased. Nobody wants to learn if gravity can pull someone up. They want to know if it can pull someone down. Similarly, no one wants to know the fake stuff about Hinduism. People want to know the true facts. I'm confident that this department will take the first step in a positive direction to correct what is wrong. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Hi, my name is Arshita, and in my school in social studies, I don't hear much about India or Hinduism, but I hear a lot about Catholicism and Christianity. I would like to hear a little more about India. Also, the social studies topic doesn't change from grades 3 to 5. I was fascinated by the facts I read in my social studies book at first, but now I know all the information I need to know, and I would like to learn a little more about another topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Fred Jones on behalf of the California Council for the Social Studies. So I represent the teachers of social studies and the administrators of such. And we are also very grateful for the work of this committee and of the IQC and your staff. And I would like to start by complimenting the Hindu community and other communities that appeared today. They obviously are a testament to what we hope to instill in all of our students, and that's civic responsibility and engagement. And so, boy, we've seen it again today as we had in so many past meetings.
I'm happy. I don't know if folks need to get going or what, or if the commission and board members want to respond to any of the public comment. That would be the only thing that I would think of.
Yeah, I think we could take 10, 15 minutes if you want and just have any comments now and then adjourn.
I'd like to just say thank you especially to all the students who spoke. It was fabulous to see you up here speaking and taking an active part in this process. So I'm proud of all of you. You did a fabulous job. So thank you for stepping up and speaking out today.